Hello everyone, I'm Brian Howard and welcome to Mass Media and Society Com 140, the online version. It's good to have you with me this semester. This is for winter 2013 and it's been a mighty cold start to the semester, at least before the semester started. But let me get you up to speed on what's going on in the class. And first off, you're going to need to get logged on. So let's go to the BYU-Idaho homepage, and those of you who are old hats at this know how to get there. Go to My BYU-I, log in there, and you get right to your My BYU space, and you want to get into iLearn. And so, of course, you can click on iLearn there and get to your courses. I've got lots of them here, probably lots more than you do, I hope. And 140 Section 6 is the one that we are. So you want to log on here, and hopefully you get there and it looks something like this. And once you get there, the first thing you want to look at is the syllabus. You want to check that out and see what we're doing in class. I'm going to go over it briefly, but you can read through it. And then if you have questions, go ahead and send me an email or contact me. Here's my contact information, my email and my phone number, and then a brief course description. This course is all about the mass media. Just like it sounds, the title Mass Media and Society, it's how mass media impacts us and how we impact the mass media by being producers of it or consumers of it. And it makes for some good discussions. So I want you to check out that and also the textbook. The textbook we have is Media Essentials, a brief introduction, and you'll need to get that. It's important because we have a lot of quizzes from the textbook, so get that as soon as you can. Then you can look through the course requirements. We do have some videos like this one. I put this on YouTube. A lot of them are just embedded onto our course site, so you'll need to have a QuickTime player to watch those, so make sure you have that on your computer. That's Mac, PC, whatever it is. Go ahead and download the latest version. It should play that just fine. A few other things like the disability statement. Let me know if there's anything that you need to tell me about as far as being able to keep up with the class. And then there's, of course, objectives. You can look through those. The grades are always important, and we'll go over those as I go over the different areas here. Over on the left-hand side, you'll see I have a schedule and lessons and whatnot. So basic overview, we have seminars each week, kind of like what I'm doing right now. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's going on for the current week and go over the chapter. We have some projects, which I'll tell you about in just a minute as well. We have quizzes, a review exam, and some blog entries, and all these things you can read over, and I'm going to show you where they are so you can find out more about them. Of course, you'll want to know about the grading scale. Look that over here on the syllabus, and I also have some information about the discussion boards and how they're graded. So check that out if you have any questions. So let's get right to the schedule. If you click on Winter 2013 schedule, you'll see we start, and this is how our week works. We start on a Monday and end on a Monday, and midnight is usually the deadline, unless there's an exception. So that's the standard deadline. So Monday nights at midnight is the deadline for that week's assignment. So for example, this week number 1 starts on the 7th, runs through the 14th of January, and you'll see here is what is due on the 14th and what you're supposed to do. And make sure you get that done before the deadline of the 14th. We run deadlines like that because it's very easy to get behind if you don't have weekly deadlines. So if you run into problems, let me know, but in general, we run on the weekly deadlines. If you're interested, you can follow me on Twitter, and here's some information there, and I tweet a lot about stuff about mass media and that kind of thing, so you can check that out. And also I have this link to a course introduction, which is what you're watching right now, although I've already sent it to you in an email, so I won't force you to watch last semester's. Okay, that being said, let's go right into the lessons because that will give you an idea of what we're going to be doing over the semester. I break it down into week by week, so week number 1 is again the 7th through the 14th, Monday through Monday. And I have lesson preparation. This gives you basically the same information you'll find in the schedule, what we're going to be doing for this week and what the assignments are. And then all the assignments are in the assignment folder under that week. So here's a little bio about me. So if you want to learn more about me, you can. I just prepared, a brief information about me and a little bit about my background. So you can watch that on your own time. Chapter 1 seminar. Also, I want to share with you a little bit about what's going on this week in the chapter. So it's a video, and usually they run about 5 to 12 to 15 minutes tops. And I share with you some basic information about the chapter, give you some insights to help you learn a little bit more about what you're going to be reading about, and then about our discussion board for the week. So those are the seminars. Introductions is our first assignment that you'll have, and this is a good example of the discussion boards. Every week we'll have a discussion, and the requirement for you is to post one original posting. For this week, you'll be introducing yourself, so tell a little bit about yourself, where you're from, your media likes and dislikes, anything about yourself that you'd like to share with your classmates. And then I'd like you to respond to 3 other people. So look around, read through the other people's posts, and respond to at least 3 others. Of course, you can respond to more as much as you like, and that makes it a lot of fun. And that's the basic pattern for all of our discussion boards is you'll do one original posting of your own thoughts, and then you're going to respond to at least 3 others. So make it a nice discussion. That's the introduction. If you need some more help on that one, just click on New Thread, and you'll post and type in there and post that, and you'll have your new threaded discussion, and you can follow through that. We do have a quiz every week, and this one is over Chapter 1, our first week. These are open book quizzes. They're meant to do on your own, so you read through and not as a group project, but it only opens once, so once you open it up, be prepared to take the quiz. My suggestion is that you have gone through the chapter and know what it's about, and then you go back and take the quiz, and then you can quickly refer back to the materials in the chapter. If you try to read and take the quiz at the same time, it generally takes you a little bit longer. But you choose how you want to do it. Generally, the quizzes work pretty well if you leave it open for a couple hours. However, you may get kicked off the university server, and when you go to submit, it won't work. So in that case, you have to contact me and generally have to retake the quiz because it won't save. So don't take an extra long time, but usually it works just fine. Okay, so that's week number 1's assignments. And week number 2, we'll introduce you to a couple of other assignments that we have. Again, there's a lesson preparation area. Tells you what we're going to be doing this week. And then let's look at the assignments. There's the seminar for Chapter 15. We jump from 1 to 15 because I like to talk about media effects first. So we'll be talking about Chapter 15. And then our discussion board for Chapter 15 is all about media effects, and we're going to talk about television and television's impact on society and us. And I want us to discuss whether or not you think television should be regulated more than it is. If it's just fine the way it is, how would you change that? So think about that, and I'm going to take a quick drink of water so I can keep talking. And what you'll have you do, again, one original post on your thoughts and then respond to at least 3 others. And of course, you can respond to more. The more the merrier, and it makes it for a lot of fun to have that discussion. Here's our Chapter 15 quiz. Again, it has a multiple choice questions over Chapter 15. You can take it once. And then introduce you to 2 other things that we'll have each week over the next 10 weeks. Project number 1 is projects are designed to give you some hands-on experience with something as good as we can in a media literacy class like this one, a mass media class. So I want you to find out about media literacy, and to do that, I've given you a couple websites. One is called Cable in the Classroom, and one is a PBS Media Literacy Quiz. And so I'll have you click on the links and read about these things, and also take the PBS Media Literacy Quiz. It's for fun and information, not to be graded. Take the quiz, see how you do, and then I'll have you answer some questions about it. And so tell me your score on the PBS Media Literacy Quiz. Tell me what surprised you about some of the information you learned. Was there anything of interest to you? And then after you've read through media literacy and what it is and what it isn't, tell me what your strengths are as far as media literacy goes, and maybe what some of your weaknesses are. So that's our project number 1. And again, I'll talk more about that later on. But for this overview, it gives you an idea of what the projects are. Every week I'll have you do a blog entry, starting with week number 2. And the goal of the blog entry is to be observational about what's going on in the world around you, and then share with us your insights. And of course, these are mass media related. So it could be anything that you watched, seen, could be a link to an article or a link to a video, could be just that you saw something going on. I'm going to share with you a little later that I've shared for a couple of semesters that just made me laugh when I went to a live football game. And then there was a little official out there who's wired to the broadcasters, and he would tell them when to start the game and when to stop based on commercials. He wouldn't interrupt a play, of course, but when they would go to commercial, he would tell them when to start the game up again when the network, ESPN or whatever it was back from commercials. So it controlled the pace of the game, which is kind of funny. So anything like that you might see, you can post here, and it's a lot of fun. Now, you aren't required to respond to anybody, but you certainly can if you would like to. So that's week number 1 and week number 2. You'll look under week number 3 is very similar with the assignments. As we go into Chapter 2 is in week number 3, and you have projects. And sometimes I will put some extra videos for you to watch. They usually aren't required, but they're there for your reference, and they usually have something to do with the discussion about the week. You'll see there's a couple more things here, some things about extra credit you can check out on your own time, and we'll discuss it a little bit later on if you have questions. I also left week number 13 in here because I'm going to have you do a presentation that'll have you do with screen capture software, kind of like I'm doing right now, where you can talk to us and share some information for the rest of the class. Okay, so that's a basic overview of what goes on in the class. Really, a couple of important things for you to know is that, again, this is not a continuing ed class where you have all semester to do all the projects. I do have weekly deadlines, so you need to keep up. So don't get behind. If you have a real problem, something happens, let me know. But for the most part, then we run by the weekly deadlines just because it helps you keep up to date and also makes the discussions more rich and fulfilling if we're all working on them at the same time. You can work ahead. Generally, I have 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time. So if you want to do assignments ahead of time, that's great. And I usually don't go much further than that because I don't want you to get discussing something in week number 10 and we're in week number 1 and you get a little bit ahead of yourself that way. Okay, so that's the basic gist of it. I hope that is helpful. Again, if you need to get a hold of me, there's my email, howardb@byui.edu, and my phone number, if you can catch me. My policy is this. Generally, I'll get back with you in an email within 24 hours. On the weekends, a little bit longer because I tend to be doing stuff with my family and church calling, that kind of thing. So, if you email me on a Saturday, I probably won't get back to you till Monday. So on weekends, it's going to be a little bit longer unless I just happen to be checking my emails. Okay, well, it's good to have you in class. I hope to see you in the discussion board soon and to learn more about you. Talk to you soon. Bye.